ये टॉपिक अभी जो हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं ये टॉपिक है मॉलिक्यूलर कंपाउंड। इससे पहले previously what we were discussing ionic compound, and then we were discussing covalent compound. We discussed mainly ionic bonding and how ionic compounds are formed. Then we discussed covalent bonding and how covalent bonds are formed. So now the topic is about molecular compounds, how molecular compounds are formed, what molecular compounds are actually, what molecular compounds are. First of all, we will read from this textbook to make our concept crystal clear. Then we will read those notes and then move towards past paper exam questions. So you see, I am reading from here and I am highlighting important points to make your text notes. Please, when you will listen this recording, open your textbook with you. Open your textbook with you. Your textbook is one of the most important source. All compounds contain atoms of more than one element. All compound. What compound is? Compound is combination of atoms. Combination of atoms is called compounds. So all compounds contain atoms of more than one element. And these atoms are chemically joined together by bonds. What actually compound is? Compound is atoms are chemically combined. Atoms are chemically combined. In this way, compounds are formed. So, and these atoms combined by a force, and we call that force a bond. We call that force a bond. The properties of compound are influenced by its atoms and by its type of bonding. It means it depends. If covalent bonding is there, then properties of compound are different. If ionic bonds are there, then properties of compounds are quite different. This shows that type of bonding affect the properties of compounds. Some compound exist as molecule, distinct group. What molecule is? Distinct group of atoms joined by covalent bonds. Here they are describing what a molecule is. When different groups of atoms joined by a covalent bond, we get molecules. When distinct group of atoms joined by a covalent bond, we get molecules. Distinct group of atoms joined by covalent bonds, we call them molecule. For example, H2O, you see this is molecule of water. It has distinct group of atoms. One is oxygen and two is hydrogen. Clear cut, clear, distinct group of atoms. Two hydrogen, one oxygen. When different groups of atoms, distinct group of atoms joined by covalent bonding, we get molecules. As you are quite familiar with what actually covalent bonding is. They have covalent simple molecular structure. Means covalent compounds have simple covalent molecular structure. An example is water. Water is one of the best example of covalent compound having simple molecular structure. One molecule of water always contain one atom of oxygen covalently bonded with two atoms of hydrogen. You are familiar with this. You are quite good in understanding the covalent structure of a water molecule. One molecule of water always contains one atom of oxygen covalently bonded to two atoms of hydrogen. Look at the diagram. What do red and white sphere represent? This red sphere represent oxygen atom, and what these two white spheres are representing? These two white spheres are representing hydrogen atoms. White spheres representing hydrogen atoms, two hydrogen atoms. How are bonds represented in this model? How are bonds represented in this model? Bonds are represented by this. This is bond between hydrogen and oxygen. This is bond. Why is the ratio of oxygen to hydrogen atom is the same in every glass of water? The ratio of oxygen to hydrogen atom is 1:8. 1:8. And this ratio is same in every glass of water, because in every glass of water there are millions of water molecules, and all the water molecules have same structure. All the water molecules has two hydrogen, all the water molecule has one oxygen, like this. All the water molecule has two hydrogen atom, one oxygen atom. So the ratio of oxygen to hydrogen atom, which is 1:8, is same in every glass of water. And how we calculated that? 1:8 oxygen. See, this is the formula of water. And for hydrogen, the atomic number is 1. And for two hydrogen, it will become 2. And for oxygen, the atomic mass is 16. Atomic mass. For hydrogen, it's 1. For oxygen, it's 16. So when we calculate, it becomes 1:8. 2 1s are 2, 2, 8. 1:8 is the ratio between hydrogen atom and oxygen atom. So now the next topic is melting and boiling point. We already know what melting point is and what boiling point is. The covalent bond in a water molecule are strong force of attraction. However, there is also a weak force of attraction between molecules. Always remember, when there is a strong force of attraction between molecules, then it has a high melting and boiling point. But when there is a weak force of attraction between molecules, then the melting and boiling points are not very high. Then the melting and boiling points are not very high if there is a weak force of attraction between molecules. The covalent bond in a water molecule are strong force of attraction. However, there are also weak force of attraction between molecules, intermolecular forces. Intermolecular forces are those forces of attraction which hold different molecules of water together. Just imagine this is water molecule. Let me draw here. This is water molecule, and just imagine there are so many water molecules are there, and all these water molecules are attached with each other by a force of attraction, and we call that force of attraction intermolecular. Intermolecular force means a force which combine one molecule with another molecule. The force which combine this water molecule with this water molecule, and this water molecule with this water molecule, this water molecule with that water molecule. The force which combine all these water molecules is called intermolecular forces. Intermolecular forces means the force of attraction which are present among the molecules. Intermolecular forces means the force of attractions which are among molecules, the force of attraction which are among molecules. These intermolecular forces hold water molecules together and must be overcome when turning liquid water into gas. Now, when we have to convert liquid water into gas, then it means we have to overcome, we have to break all the force of attraction which are present among water molecules. And to break that forces, we need energy. If these intermolecular forces are not strong enough, if these intermolecular forces are weak, then it means we don't need too much energy. We need a little energy, we need a less energy because these intermolecular forces are not strong. But just imagine if these intermolecular forces are strong, then we need a huge amount of energy. And when we provide a huge amount of energy to overcome these intermolecular forces, then it means that substance has high melting and boiling points. But if these intermolecular forces are not strong enough, if these intermolecular forces are weak, then to overcome these intermolecular forces, we don't need to provide enough energy. We provide less amount of energy. Then this shows that the water has less low melting and boiling point. Small, simple molecules such as water often have low melting and boiling points because it does not take much energy to overcome the weak intermolecular forces. The intermolecular forces is weak. We don't need to provide a high amount of energy to overcome these forces of attractions. So a, water don't have a high melting and boiling points. Water has low melting and boiling point. Okay, so the next is then there are certain questions that are very conceptual and very important questions. Just try to solve these questions. Covalent bonds are strong, so why does water have a low melting point? Let me find answer in proper wording. Then I will share this answer with you. So first of all, let me write that questions. And covalent bonds are strong, so why does water have a low melting point? Covalent bond is strong, but why does water has low melting point? Covalent bond is strong, but what does water has no melting point? Yes, covalent bond is strong, but in case of water, the structure of water is simple. Water is a small molecule. Water has no huge covalent bonding. Structure of water is simple. Water molecule of water is smaller in size. Molecule of water is smaller in size. They don't have a huge covalent bonding. The answer is also mentioned in our textbook. Because the molecule of water is small and simple. This is our the question, and this is the answer. In case of water, in case of water, structure of water does not has huge covalent bonding. Structure of water does not have huge covalent bonding because water molecule is small and simple. Because water molecules is small and simple. Because water molecule is small and simple, and simple molecular substances and simple molecular substances require little energy, require less energy to overcome intermolecular forces. Overcome intermolecular forces. That is the reason water has no melting point. The next question is, what do you expect the strength of bonds to be like between carbon and oxygen atoms in carbon dioxide compared to the strength of the forces between neighboring carbon dioxide molecule? Okay, let me write that question. Let me write that question. Just have a glance at other notes shared by simple molecular compound. What is molecule, force of attraction? These are also very good notes. Other one. This is another thing. Allotropy. Okay, before answering this question, just read that slide to make our concept clear about melting and boiling point and forces of attractions. Just read. We have to read just few slides from here to make our concept clear about melting and boiling points. This is the topic. Topic is simple molecular compound. In this topic, we have to cover these 3 points. In this topic, we have to cover these 3 points. Why do these compounds have low melting and boiling points? Very important questions. Very important questions. We will learn the answer of these questions. Number 2 question and number 3 questions will be discussed in the next sessions. Today class, we are trying to understand what actually molecular compounds are and how and why molecular compounds have low melting and boiling points. First of all, just read here to have a first of all, just read here to have a good concept of what is a molecule. So, molecules are compound made of small group of atoms covalently bonded together. They have simple structure. Molecule has simple structure. Usually, covalent compounds have a huge, giant structure. Usually, covalent compound has huge, giant structure, but molecule has simple structure. In sample of such compound, there will be million and millions copies of same molecule. For example, when you see water, if you have one glass of water, this one glass of water has million and million of same water molecules, same molecule. And methane, I know these are all molecule combination of atoms. Then very important topic is about force of attraction. Yes, force of attraction. Forces of attraction. The covalent bonds within the molecule are very strong. Okay, there are two types of force of attraction which we have to discuss in this slide. There are two types of forces of attractions. Let me write here. This is page number 1. First of all, let me write page number. This is page number 2. And this is page number 3. Then the other one is page number 4. Two types of forces of attraction. How many types? Two types of forces of attractions. Two types of forces of attractions. Number one is intermolecular, and number two is intramolecular. Understand these two types of intermolecule, these two types of forces of attraction by this diagram. This is water molecule. This is another water molecule, and this is another water molecule. Just imagine there are so many water molecules. There are so many water molecules, and there is force of attraction between one water molecule and between one molecule to another water molecule, and we call that force of attraction. We call that force of attraction intermolecular. Just imagine this water molecule is attracting this water molecule. This water molecule is attracting this water molecule, and this water molecule is attracting this water molecule. What this force of attraction? This is called intermolecular force. Intermolecular force. The force by which one molecule attracts its neighboring molecule is called intermolecular force. The force by which the force by which one molecule is attracting force by which one molecule is attracting other is attracting its neighboring molecule. The force by which one molecule is attracting its neighboring molecule. The force by which one molecule is attracting its neighboring molecule, we call that force intermolecular force. Intermolecular force. You see, the force by which this water molecule attracts its neighboring water molecule, the force by which this water molecule is attracting its neighboring water molecule, by the force by which this water molecule is attracting its neighboring water molecule, we call this force of attraction intermolecular. Then what intramolecular? This is water molecule. And you see, there is a force of attraction within the atoms. This hydrogen is attached with this oxygen is attached with this hydrogen. This oxygen is attached with this hydrogen by a force, and we call that force intramolecular. Intramolecular. This is intramolecular force. The force which are present among the atoms within molecules. The force which are present among the atoms within molecules. Within molecules. The force which are present among the atoms within molecule. We call that force intramolecular force. So how many forces of attractions are there? Two types of forces of attractions. In intermolecular force, this is weak force, not very strong force. Intramolecular, very strong force. Intramolecular, very strong force. Strong force. Weak force and strong force. Intramolecular weak force. Oh, intermolecular weak force, not strong enough as intramolecular. And these things are mentioned here as well. At that slide, you see forces of attractions. The covalent bond within the molecule are very strong. However, there are forces of attraction between these molecules that hold them together. These forces of attractions are weak. That is the reason. The melting and boiling points of covalent compounds, simple covalent molecule are not high. This is another slide. Melting point and boiling point, weak force of attraction and properties. The melting point, what melting point is? Turning from solid to liquid. What boiling point is? When turning from liquid to gas. When we turn liquid into gas, the heat we provide, the temperature we provide, we call that temperature boiling point. The weak forces between the solid molecule only require a small amount of energy to separate them. So no need to have a high melting point. The covalent bond within the molecule are very important point are mentioned in these slides. The covalent bond within the molecules are not broken. The covalent bond within the molecules are not broken. The covalent bonds within the molecule are not broken. And there is a big forces between among the solid molecule, among the molecules. Just imagine once again, this is water molecule, this is another water molecule, this is another water molecule. the forces of attraction which are present between these water molecules. If these forces of attractions are weak, and they are weak, it means we need a small energy to separate these water molecules from one another. We need a little amount, we need a less amount of energy to separate these molecules from one another. We don't need to provide a high amount of energy. So water has a low melting points, because here we don't break the force which are present within the molecule. Two types of force. One is within the molecule. If we have to break this force, if we have to break this bond, we need a huge amount of energy. We need to provide a huge amount of energy. We have to break this bond which is present within the molecule. If we need to break the bond, if we need to overcome the force which is present within the molecule, we need a large amount of energy, but we don't need to break these bonds. Then going towards melting point, turning from liquid to gas, the big force between the liquid molecules only require small amount of energy. The covalent bond within the molecule are not broken, therefore it has a low boiling point. So up till here we discussed few things. In our next class, we discuss another thing. So let me share all these things with you. If you have any problem to understand anything which is confusing for you, you can ask me at that time, at any time. Okay, thank you